Picture this. You just spent $400,000 on your dream Barndominium. Sleek, modern, that flat roofline you saw on Pinterest. 18 months later, you're standing in your living room watching a brown stain spread across your ceiling while a $2,000 a visit roofer tells you the membrane failed again. I'm going to say something that's going to make some designers mad. On a Barndominium, a flat roof is almost never the smart move. Today we're breaking down the real cost, the build cost, the engineering cost, and the cost nobody puts in the brochure of going flat instead of pitched. Here's the roadmap. First, the price per square foot numbers nobody compares side by side. Second, why post frame and steel truss barndos are structurally built to shed water, not hold it. Third, the insurance and resale surprises that show up years after move-in. And finally, the rare cases where flat actually works. Stick around, because the last section might change what you're planning to build. What flat roofs actually cost once every line item is on the table. The sticker price. Let's start with the number that gets people to say yes to flat. The quote. A single-ply membrane roof TPO or EPDM typically installs for somewhere around $4 to $10 a square foot. A standing seam metal roof, the standard for pitched barndos, usually runs $10 to $16 a square foot. On paper, flat wins by a mile. What the quote doesn't include. But that quote is a snapshot, not the story. It doesn't include the tapered insulation you need to force water toward a drain, because a truly flat roof doesn't drain itself. It doesn't include the extra roof drains or scuppers, the parapet wall framing, or the additional flashing detail at every single penetration. Add those in and the gap between flat and pitched shrinks fast, sometimes it disappears entirely. The lifespan nobody budgets for. Now the part almost nobody budgets for, lifespan. A well-installed single-ply membrane typically lasts 15 to 20 years before it needs replacing, with premium fully adhered systems sometimes stretching toward 25 or 30. A standing seam steel roof is routinely rated 40 to 70 years. So over a 30-year ownership window, the flat roof owner is very likely paying for a full tear-off and remembrane at least once, sometimes twice. The simple math. Run the simple math. One membrane replacement alone, on an average barndo roof footprint, can cost more than the original price difference you thought you saved. Flat roofing isn't a bad product. It's a product priced for a 15 to 20-year commercial life cycle and sold to homeowners planning to stay for 30. Why post frame and steel truss barndos are built to shed water, not hold it. Built to shed water. Here's the engineering reality most flat roof pitches skip entirely. Barndominiums are built on post frame or steel truss systems, and those systems were developed around one core assumption. The roof sheds water and snow quickly, through slope, not through pumps, drains, or membranes doing all the work alone. The ponding problem. Flip that to flat and you introduce a problem called ponding. Building codes actually require engineers to design for the worst case. Every primary drain clogged, water pooling to whatever depth the deflected roof allows. And that deflection matters. A roof that's technically flat when installed can bend under normal loads and create a low spot where water collects instead of draining. Snow load and drift. Then there's snow. Low slope and flat roofs are far more prone to snow accumulation than pitched metal, because there's no slope to help it slide off. Add wind, and that snow doesn't even load evenly, it drifts against parapet walls, sometimes doubling or tripling the local load right where the roof is weakest. Why you need a stamped engineer. This is exactly why every legitimate Barndominium plan flat or pitched should carry a licensed structural engineer stamp verifying the snow and wind loads for your specific location. It's not optional paperwork. Many insurance carriers and permitting offices require it before you can even get occupancy approved. The engineer's honest answer. Ask any structural engineer who works on post-frame buildings which roof they'd rather design and maintain, and the honest answer is almost always the same. Pitched metal, done right, gives you built-in redundancy. Flat gives you a system where every component, the slope, the drains, the membrane has to perform perfectly for decades with zero margin for error. The money you don't see coming: insurance, warranty fine print, and resale. Insurance pricing risk. Now let's talk about the money that shows up after you've already moved in. In snow load and high wind regions, insurers price risk. A roof design with a documented history of leak claims and ponding failures can mean a higher premium, or in some markets, a harder time finding a carrier willing to write the policy at all. Warranty fine print. Then there's the warranty fine print. Membrane and coating manufacturers often set conditions around slope, drainage, and climate, and a poorly detailed low-slope installation can void coverage on the very failure you'd expect the warranty to cover. Always get the manufacturer's slope and drainage requirements in writing before you sign a contract. The resale problem. And here's the one buyers almost never see coming: resale. In most rural and suburban markets where barndominiums are popular, appraisers and typical buyers associate a pitched metal roof with a finished, permanent home and a flat roof with a shop or a commercial building. That perception can make your comps harder to find and your appraisal lower than you'd expect. The financing connection. If you watched our video on why barndominium loans get denied, you already know lenders lean heavily on appraisal and comparable sales. A roof style that makes your home harder to comp isn't just a resale headache, it can be a financing headache the moment you try to refinance or sell. When flat roofing actually works. The exceptions. Now, to be fair, flat and low-slope roofing isn't always the wrong call. A small covered porch, a breezeway connecting two structures, or a short run over a mechanical room can make sense as a low-slope design, especially when it's engineered with proper tapered insulation and redundant drainage from day one. The verdict. The recommendation. But for the primary roof of a barndominium, the surface protecting your entire living space for the next 30+ years, a properly pitched standing seam metal roof, engineered for your local snow and wind loads, is almost always the better financial decision. Lower long-term cost, better warranty terms, easier insurance, and a roofline buyers actually want to pay for. If you're planning a build and weighing roof options, drop your climate zone in the comments and I'll tell you what I'd actually spec. And if you haven't seen it yet, check out our full breakdown of why barndominium loans get denied and how to fix it right here. Subscribe for the next one, where we're breaking down insulation choices that actually matter.